I'm sorry, you got to back off. You're so in there. You're
So
bypassing
ready.
bypassing the filter, and I'm still getting
How about this? Is this better?
so much better.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
That was a bad take anyway.
That's
Right, here we
a
go.
good thing I stopped you.
Exactly.
Hey kids, Nick again. Remember last week at the very end, I popped in and said we talked way too long about Round and One for John Gee, so it's not actually the triple header that we promised. This week, we're going into Love Story and Sunshine Day, and we're going to pick up right where we left off. So thank you for your patience. We're going to zoop right in. No real intros. He's Omen. I'm Nick. You know us by now. Enjoy.
I feel like I need a second to recover from that.
This is straight on par with a song for Jeffrey. Because one of the reasons because this is also on Living in the Past.
Now, I think it's important to note right off the bat that even though we are, because of the format of our podcast, presenting this to you in terms of it being a bonus track on a late release album version of This Was, Love Story is actually the third single that Jethro Tull ever released. They released it in December of '68, and it reached number 29 in the UK singles chart in January of the next month, in January of '69. And it spent 8 weeks on the top 40 chart.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good for it being the third single that the band ever released.
What were the other two? Wait, let me guess. You don't have it there anyway, so I can't. Let's see. Looking at that list.
Oh, the other two were Sunshine Day and Living in the Past.
How interesting that their singles, all three of those singles did not come off the first album. I don't even know Sunshine Day.
Yeah.
Sunshine Day. That's bonkers. I'm going to listen to Sunshine Day right now.
Woke up this morning to look at things in their funny ways. Why can't they be like they used to be?
So we just listened to 30 seconds, 45 seconds of Sunshine Day.
Yeah.
I hear Beatles. I hear flowery, what you would expect for like flowery hippie sound.
Yeah, it sounds like exactly the sort of thing that would get you onto the top 40s chart in England in 1968. It's but nothing else. It sounds like nothing. It doesn't sound like there's nothing else distinctive about it.
That was their first single?
Apparently.
What a twist.
I think that we just learned something, Nick. And I have to say, that has never happened before.
That we learned something? I mean,
no, but this is, I mean, I don't remember the last time that you and I simultaneously listened to a Jethro Tull song that we had never heard before.
A brand new, yeah. I don't think that's never happened. Yeah.
That's very...
We didn't even finish it.
No, because it's not very good.
It's not terrible.
No, but it's not distinctive. I mean, you can sort of hear, if you kind of pull out some of the stuff. What am I trying to say? I'm Googling and speaking at the same time. That was a mistake. You can hear that it's Jethro Tull. You can hear Ian Anderson's distinctive voice. You can hear some of the kind of style of guitar playing that you hear later, but it's not particularly remarkable.
No, and it's super bizarre to me because when I first listened to the album This Was, I was like, this doesn't sound like Tull at all because of how bluesy jazzy it is. And then you throw this into the mix. I never in a million years would I have expected to hear this sound come from them. Again, it's not terrible. It's not bad. But it's like, this is probably a reference that you won't understand, Omen.
What?
But it's like it's like the first 2 albums from Mumford and Sons.
I have heard of those people. They have an album cover where they progressively go from being well dressed to less dressed until one of them is just standing in his socks. Nope, that's the other one. Damn it, who is that? That's the Punch Brothers. All right, well, whatever. I know the sort of thing you're talking about.
Anyway, the first 2 are folk and acoustic and beautiful and amazing.
Right.
And then the next 2 albums after that are just electric. And if it weren't Mumford and Sons,
Yeah.
and if I didn't love the sound of those first 2 albums, the third and the fourth would be, they're okay, they're passable. But because I'm comparing it to those first 2, it's abhorrent.
Well, you know what they say.
What do they say?
To compare is to despair.
Do they say that?
That's
Or
a
did you
saying.
just come up with something
No,
that rhymes with compare?
I
It worked
came up
out.
with that some years ago, and it makes sense. It's true.
To compare,
Is to despair.
brush your hair. That's
That's
what I say.
that's not the same thing.
So this was not this song. This episode is not about Sunshine Day, although maybe it ought to
My sunshine day.
be. Let's go back to Love Story.
Oh my gosh! Wow, there is so much happening in this. You mind if I just jump right in?
Yeah, please.
So let's say that this is their first real single. Their first. Let's not even talk about that. Let's just talk about the song. When I listen to this song, I hear Benefit. I hear the album Benefit.
Absolutely.
There's so much of that. And specifically, you have the use of the kind of wah-wah pedal on the guitar,
Mm-hmm.
while simultaneously Ian Anderson is playing the mandolin,
Mhm.
which is like kind of on some kind of a weird overdrive, which I don't think they did anywhere else on This Was.
No, I think that's the only time we hear mandolin.
But he does it a lot later on.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, once he gets into the woodsier and the folkier sound, yeah, absolutely.
And that's another thing that's already kind of starting to emerge with this song is the agricultural imagery
Mm.
vis-a-vis romantic entanglements.
Okay, I'm following. I hope. It's got the darkness of Benefit.
Yeah.
There's just and some songs off of Songs from the Wood even.
Yeah.
That there's this kind of overcast feel, this palpable kind of pressure in the air, like a storm's about to break.
Well, and thematically, it's got that tension of the frustrated love.
Oh yeah, which is a lot more common Songs from the Wood era.
Yes. Going back in the morning time to see if my love has come around.
Yeah.
I know what I will find, that she's wasting time. She could be picking roses. That's very agriculturally suggestive. You know what I mean?
I mean, I get the agricultural part.
She could be picking roses.
There you go. I get it.
Yeah?
Now.
You get
I
it now?
understand.
Yeah. Things that I can't say.
She could be spreading fertilizer. She could be spraying for aphids.
Oh my God. She's about to have her organic designation revoked.
That's tragic.
Well, hey, it's love. Yeah, no, but it's what else can we say about this? What is your impression? What do you see in your mind when you listen to this song?
Well, I kind of covered it in my outburst. I definitely see it belongs with Benefit.
Right.
Mostly it has that sound, but also because I had I had Living in the Past at the same time as Benefit, and I listened to them both. So they all kind of mix together sound-wise. I think this one paired with Song for Jeffrey
Yeah.
just feel like they don't belong on this album, you know?
Well, that's the fascinating thing about this was, and I think that it's worth circling back to something that we were talking about on the previous episode, which is that, you know, most of the other albums sort of are representative of 1 year of playing together with the band,
right?
Because they recorded just about an album every year for 30 or 40 years. But this one is unique. The first album is unique because they had been playing together for more than that amount of time before they recorded it, and so there was a larger selection of material to pull from. So maybe they had, one of the things that we've often talked about and that fans often talk about Jethro Tull is the pleasure of hearing the band and their sound change over the years. And I think on this album we have sort of a microcosm of that in a way. We hear some of the really, really bluesy roots and the jazz roots, and then we hear with this track the prog rock kind of folk rock vibe that they go to for the next 5 or 10 years.
I was just thinking, almost all of their albums have a theme of some sort.
Absolutely.
I mean, they had more than twice as many songs as we see on This Was, so they were obviously picking and choosing for a thematic feel. Maybe this is proto-prog at this point.
What?
Yeah, I said it.
Oh my God.
I said it.
Start a Wikipedia article now.
Do it. Just link it to Ian Anderson.
That's actually a request that we're making of you, the listener. We don't have time for that kind of thing.
Yeah. But a proto-prog
Wikipedia page
would be pretty cool. No, I think knowing all of the other songs that we can hear, based on the bonus tracks, based on the dates of the songs that are on Living in the Past, they were well into this sound as much as they were into the sound of This Was.
Right. And there's a reason why the album is called This Was, because this was how they played.
Yeah.
But things change, don't they?
We put it on this album because some people like it. No, because it's popular with some people.
No, it's just because people like it.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so veiled and dramatic. Oh,
it's very British.
Gross. Yeah. So I think with listening to the song and then this discussion, it leads me to think that it's not a matter of evolution by way of one album to the next that I had initially thought of.
Right.
Even though they chose this very specific and early sound for their very first album, and then naturally, did they know, like, at what point were they getting rid of Mick?
That's the story that I want to know. I want to know I want to know what that decision was, if it was a mutual thing. I want to know. I am a catty bitch and I want the details.
You want the deets. Yeah, to me, it feels like this could be we had a good run. We'll give you this album, but we're going with the other sound after this.
Right. Or was it, listen, Ian, I've had enough of your crazy flute talk. I'll do this one last favor for you, and then I'm off to do Bloodwind Pig.
Yeah.
Or
no
neither.
Bloodwind, I think.
Bloodwind Pig.
Yeah, there we go.
Or was it neither of those things? Probably that's the answer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we are Jethro Tull archaeologists. Well, we're Tullcheologists.
Ooh.
There it is.
Yes.
We're taking the pieces that we have and positing pure theory, and in 30 years after we listen through them again, once we're done with this the first time, we'll go and re-record them again, and then we'll just say that the dinosaurs had feathers.
Yeah.
Archaeologists, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a really interesting way to look at the developments and listen to this album again and think of what is contemporary with this album in their library at the time.
Absolutely. Hold on one second. I'm just... Blech.
That was our interstitial music.
Yeah.
Bring back my sunshine, dear.
It literally, I mean, it's like it. Oh gosh, it's so reminiscent, like you said, of all of those like semi-hippie 60s bands.
I just see like daisies floating in the air, and they're wearing like bell bottoms and bandanas and leather tassels. They kept the leather tassels, I think.
They did. Yeah, there was a swift progression from hippie to festive leather daddy as time went on.
Festive leather daddy. Wooded leather daddy.
Woodland.
There we go. That's it. I want to know if they had any other songs like this, even if it wasn't recorded or even performed for that matter. I wonder what they had in their repertoire leading up to this, and then going, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Right. Well, for other songs that are of this time period, I suggest that our listeners tune in next week.
Oh, no.
No, I think that they should.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. And do you want to reveal to them which song we will be discussing next week, Nick?
We will be discussing a Tull staple that is played live and on many, many albums, and reworked at least one or two other times. We are going to be covering Christmas Story. Is that what it's called? Christmas song. I wasn't ready to it. While you're listening to our wrap-up, go to your podcatcher of choice. Go to your cast catcher of choice. Rate us, subscribe, review. I don't have to tell you to subscribe. You're already subscribed if you're listening to this episode 9 or 10, whatever this is. But just, give us the stars and give us the reviews. It helps, blah, blah, blah. If you listen to this podcast, you listen to other podcasts, you hear the spiel, bring it over to us, give us some love.
Nick, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If people want to write to us, where can they do that?
They can go to their email and send us an email. They can send us an email to momes@fecklessmomes.com.
And that is MOMES. Momes.
Or, I mean, they're looking at the podcast. It has the word mome on it.
Oh.
Or you can go to fecklessmomes.com, and on the homepage is a contact us little form that you can fill out and give us your love, or just leave it in a review.
That is FEC
okay.
LS.
FEC LS MOMS.
MOMS. I'm sorry, I'm getting silly. Hey, Nick.
Yeah, Omen.
What are we going to be discussing next week?
Next week is the ultimate song, ultimate in the Greek sense of last. Or is it Latin? Oh, gosh, that's embarrassing.
Ultimo. I think that's Latin.
No, it's. Oh, yeah, because antepenultimate. No, pen is. Okay. Next week, we are covering the last song of the bonus tracks. I mean, technically, we covered the last song this week with Round. We're covering the last song of the bonus tracks, and that is Christmas Song.
Until then, I'm Omen Sade.
And I'm Nick McGill.
We are Feckless Momes.
And this is Talk Tull to Me. It's bonkers.
Just something that they, oops.
Oh, hey there. Talk Tull to Me is a proud member of the Feckless Momes Audio Network.